Velkommen til Karriereklubben, en podcast, der hjælper dig med dine personlige udfordringer i karrieren. Mit navn er Rossmeisl, og jeg er dagens vært. Hi everyone! Thank you so much for letting us visit you here and have this live podcast session with the Karriereklubben, the Career Club in English. My name is Caroline Rossmeisl and I'm the host of this podcast. The podcast is a dilemma podcast. So as a young professional, you can send in your dilemmas or questions around career or early stage work life. And we then have a panel of 3 people with different experience and different occupations that can give you some advice. So the hope is that with this podcast we can make it a bit more nice to enter the work life, because I know there's so many questions. I had it myself when I started on the employment market. But today is about well-being, as we have had in the interviews and also the nice talk that Pernille gave us. So today we have 3 dilemmas about well-being from master students. So it's real-life dilemmas, and maybe you can recognize some of the feelings. I have with me this panel of 3 experts, can I call you that? and you will hopefully give some good advice to the dilemmas. But before we get to that, I think you should present yourself to the audience. Maybe we can start with you, Victoria, if you grab the mic.
My name is Victoria, and I recently graduated from CBS. I was studying business administration and psychology, and now I work in Danske Bank as a diversity and inclusion lead. Should I?
Yeah.
Okay. I worked with implementing and developing strategic initiatives to help Danske Bank achieve their D&I commitments. So
Wow.
we make Danske Bank hopefully a more diverse workforce and a more inclusive place to be.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Give her an applause. And Kasper?
Yeah, my name is Kasper. I graduated from CBS nearly 20 years ago to become an entrepreneur. So today I'm a serial entrepreneur. Back then I built an edtech company and digitalized the school sector in Denmark, helped 1 million kids with math, and raised 4 million euro in one round in 2017 and sold the company to one of the largest publishers in Denmark. And today I help entrepreneurs to build their companies together with Line, who's also filming. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Give him an applause as well. And the last man.
Yes, my name is André, and I graduated back in 2019, some years ago now. It feels like it was yesterday. Since then, I have been working here partly at CBS and as an external lecturer, lecturing on the master program in financial and accounting. I also work in Danske Bank, so it's not a very diverse setup that we have. Where I work in investment banking, I work in equity research, trying to figure out what stocks to buy and sell. Then I'm part of starting Karriereklubben, have made a network and another podcast and many other things. But yeah, glad to be here.
Amazing. Yes, and I mean, it's actually my first Karriereklubben standing, so I'm trying to get the grasp of it. But how it normally works is that we have 3 dilemmas. I will read it out loud, and then we will get some guidance and advice from the panel. So, are you ready for the first dilemma?
Yes, definitely.
It goes like this. Dear Karriereklubben, I'm about to start my master's program and I find it difficult to find out how much energy I should put into my studies versus my study job. I see my study mates split up into different groups with completely different attitudes towards this question. One group is almost entirely focused on getting out into the job market, and they see their study job as the most important place to put in time and acquire relevant employable competences for the future. They don't really believe that masters will give them much other than the diploma, which many employers require to take you seriously enough. For the other group, The precious and privileged time of being a student, studying and learning about the world is coming to an end, and they want to get the most out of their final years of intellectual exploration and living in your own pace. As they say, we have plenty of time to go all in on work when we start our long work life. For them, the study job is still good to have as practical experience on your CV, but the work hours are kept to a minimum to give room to a good study life. I feel myself drawn by both their mindset, and it splits me in my approach to the next few years. How should I find my motivation, and what should I focus on? Yeah.
I can start. I already have the mic. So I guess the political correct answer was to say prioritize one or the other, right? I must be honest, I didn't do that myself. I studied a lot, and I loved studying, and I worked a lot, and I loved working, and that's probably not the correct thing to say today, but I actually love working, and I love spending a lot of time in the office. I think when I peaked, I had 3 different student jobs at the same time.
Three different students?
Yes,
okay.
yes, and it worked out very well. I was I was working at Copenhagen University, which was a very easy job, and I was working at Maersk at the same time because it was a very easy job, so I could read some homework at that job, and then I would show up in a suit at Copenhagen University, and the job was just some administration role, and I had to pick up some trash eventually, so I was going around picking up trash in a suit and then going to Maersk later that day. So I was actually studying on that job. So
how was your well-being? Because today we talk about well-being, and with 3 jobs to manage.
My well-being was very, very high because I doubled my wage or even more, right? Because sometimes I was also working for Maersk at that job because there was literally nothing to do. So, there is a lot of tricks out there, and not all student jobs you have to work a lot. And this is somewhat probably of a special answer. But if I should prioritize in some way between the two, I would probably prioritize studies because, first of all, grades matter a lot out there. Maybe you hear a lot that you should. It's not the most important thing, but there. I was actually attending a dilemma night yesterday in finance and accounting, and I think there was like 150 students there, and we had representatives from Big Four essentially, and from different investment banks. And they all got between 100 and 200 applications for each position, right? And they all said, yeah, we read all the applications. But when we talked afterwards, they said we have to implement some kind of screening tools because we can't read 200 applications. So grades matter. And it's the only time you actually get the chance to sit down and study all you can. You have 50 years to work afterwards. So if I had to prioritize, I would prioritize studies.
Yeah, but it seemed like you really couldn't prioritize with 3 jobs and a study.
That's because I loved working, and it worked out for me. I mean, it probably don't work out for other people, but it worked out for me very well. And if I could make money and also study at the same go, then why not?
Okay, so that's one view of it. Should we continue to you, Victoria?
Yes.
Did you also manage 3 jobs at the same time?
Only one.
Only one.
Yeah. But I think the person should maybe ask herself, which kind of job do I aim for when I'm done with my study? Because like André said, grades matter, but grades don't matter in all jobs. Because if you're aiming for becoming a finance pro in investment banking, then of course grades matter a lot.
Yeah.
But if you're not aiming for that, then you might be able to prioritize your work, because then experience matter more than grades. So be realistic around what are my ambitions after my studies, and what kind of job do I actually want to aim for.
What did you do?
I prioritize work, but it's not the political correct answer as well, but I learned how to go to school, and I learned how to go to exams, and I learned how to prioritize what lectures to attend to, and I became pretty good at actually just going to the right sessions and then going to the exams. So I spent most of my time at my job and not really at CBS, but I loved staying here. But I love my job more.
Yeah. Okay. So you found the time to both of it actually.
Yeah.
So for this specific person, would you? I mean, you say that she should kind of find out what it is that she's aiming for, what ambitions she has.
I haven't showed my grades to anyone.
No.
No.
So grades doesn't always matter.
No. And I'm working in investment banking also, not a real
A
finance
department.
bro. Yeah. Exactly. And that's why it doesn't matter where I sit. But just to be a little bit more realistic on what is actually your dream job, because then the experience might be even more important than the grades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Kasper? You also from CBS, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
But went into a completely different direction,
grades
maybe.
doesn't matter where I am, apparently, because I'm an entrepreneur, so nobody's really looking. Unless you're raising a lot of money, then they care about it, and then you tell them to not get those grades because I didn't show them. Okay, I think the question is about choice, really. So here's a person who thinks there are two pathways, and she or he, I'm not sure. She thinks that maybe I have the answer, and I don't have the answer, but I have maybe the way to the answer, because you need to have a good feeling about doing choices. And that's also about having a great time at Copenhagen Business School, because you're going to have a lot of choices for the next couple of years. And maybe you ask other people, what would you do? And that's okay, but you really need to use that information to do the choice yourself, because on the other side of doing a choice, you need to feel good about it. And if I'm doing the choice for you, you're not going to feel good about it unless it's successful. And to be honest, a lot of the things I've done for the last 20 years has not been that successful. Well, yeah, I raised a couple of million euro in
just
around,
a couple of million euro.
4 or 5, I don't really remember, because it was both, equity and debt. But anyways, and I built this company. Suddenly I had 85 employees, but I did a lot of wrong choices on that path, because otherwise I would have had 1,000 employees, I'm sure. So feeling good about the wrong choices is about doing the choices yourself. So that's what I would say to this person, that you need to ask people, but you need to go for yourself in the woods, or go for a bicycle run or whatever, and really think about feeling comfortable doing the choice. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yeah, I think that's a very short comment. If you have an extra comment.
I just wanted to change my answer a bit. Okay. And that's actually because I said that you should just study all you could. But if it was myself, I wouldn't be able to go 100% into just studies. I mean, I guess you and I know it ourselves. We do many different things other than working, and you work in Novo Nordisk, I work in Danske Bank, and then we do tons of other things on the side, right? So I would never be satisfied just doing 100% of spending 100% of my time at CBS. That would be extremely boring, and I would never be satisfied spending 100% of my time at my student job. That would also be too boring. So I actually think the diversity between the two, both cognitive but also socially meeting other people, etc., is probably the right way to go. You can do both, I think.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to end this dilemma. So just summarizing, I mean, jobs matters. I mean, and it's maybe good to have like a study job if you have the capacity while you study. It will help you. And Victoria found that it helped a lot. And it's not only grades that employers are looking at. It's definitely also experience. And then I think it was really good what you said, Kasper, about being confident with the choice that you make. I mean, it's about choosing something over something else. So find out what really is your path and what you're looking for, and try to shape that. I mean, what is important in this job? Is it grades? Like with André's job, if it's in investment banking, maybe grades matter more. But if it's in startup or if it's in something else, maybe it's the experience that's better to prioritize. Amazing. Thank you so much for this. Give them an applause. Okay, moving on to the next dilemma. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Dear Karriereklubben, for many years I've had a master plan that my future career should be within management consulting. But as I approach the end of my master's program, I begin doubting whether this is actually the right move for me. It started in high school when my dad told me that management consultants were the elite soldiers of business. Okay, that's a statement. That led me to chase the dream of becoming one myself. At CBS, I've had the privilege of having a study job at a prestigious consultancy. It has taught me a lot, and I have immense respect for my full-time colleagues who truly are elite soldiers. However, now when I can see what kind of lifestyle that career requires for you, better or worse, I feel something inside myself doubting whether this is the right for me. So, I don't know if I'm holding on to consultancy simply because it has been the master plan for much of my life. What is your advice? From Daniel. Yeah, elite soldiers in business. Is that how you see it, Kasper, first of all?
Well, not really, but they are quite gifted and quite good. Those management consultants. I actually worked for a management consultancy firm for 1 year back in the days because I ran out of money very early, and I had to. And the second somebody called me and invited me back on track with my company, my own company, then I quit.
Yeah.
They are very bright in that business. I saw a lot of people. For that year that had a lot of thinking about if it was the right choice or not. Speaking specifically about management consultancy, a lot of people joined that business in order for them to learn a lot fast, very early on in their careers. And I think that's a bright move, especially if you are capable of it and you enjoy it. I have a very small story from back then. A person joined the company a couple of months after I joined, and suddenly I found her crying in the kitchen a day, and it was because it wasn't the right choice for her. And afterwards I followed her, and she got a great career, so she needed to stop it. She shouldn't have entered, I guess, I assume.
Yeah.
So
not for all.
It's definitely not for all, and I think investment banking or entrepreneurship isn't for all. I mean, I meet a lot of people that dream about being an entrepreneur, and they shouldn't really be it. Maybe they should try it and then quit that.
So your best advice is get out in it, try it, and then...
Yeah, but at least, I mean, that's the good part here. Daniel, he tried it. But I mean, if you're in doubt in that business, I think you need to think about it, and maybe the answer isn't that nice because you say farewell to a nice paycheck and a lot of good stuff. But I mean, to me, there are nothing that money can buy for you if you're sad. A lot of people say that money can buy you happiness. Please show me that, because I didn't experience it. But so if you're getting to a point where you're not happy with your work, then it might be like a sign that you really need to think about it, or maybe leave and see what happens. On the other side of that choice, I mean, the grass is green.
Yeah.
The difficult part is to say, okay, I quit.
Yeah. What do you think, Victoria? Do you have a quick advice for Daniel?
Yeah, I don't think like this plan is Daniel's masterpiece plan. It feels like it's Daniel's dad.
Yeah.
And I think he needs to ask himself, is this really what I want, or is it me just living my dad's dream? Because you'll never be happy if you're living somebody else's dream. And if he's in doubt, I don't think he's really in doubt, because you have to be 100% committed to succeed in that world. So I think he should maybe be not so focused on that master plan, and then maybe look somewhere else, and then like a really annoying parent advice, like sometimes it happens when you're not looking, and because he has only been looking for the management consultant, he might miss all other great opportunities out there.
Yeah, good advice. Do you have a quick comment as well, André?
Yes, of course. So Of course, you should figure out what you want to do yourself, right? That's the easy thing to say. Management consulting is an amazing career, right? I guess I have many friends who work there. They get a lot of management exposure to top level people in different organizations. They get a huge toolbox because they see many of the different problems 1,000 times, and then can scale on that knowledge and help many different companies solve those problems. So you learn extremely quite a lot in a career from that perspective. It's also a very tough job, right? It's billable hours. That's the business model. So you need to deliver some hours, and it's difficult to scale on billable hours, right? It's not like building an ed tech or software or whatever, right? And then just selling it all the way. You need to be there. You need to charge for how many hours you work. So it's difficult. If it was myself, I would probably do it in the start of my career, learn a lot, and then probably change along the way, because it's also difficult to do when you start to get a family, I guess. Some manage, but it's difficult along the way. So figure out what you want to do yourself. If it was me, I think management consulting is an amazing career path. Yeah,
we also heard, we had a panelist in Karriereklubben saying it was like not choosing, so continuing learning and bring a lot of things to your toolbox so you're more prepared for the next job. Thank you so much. I think summarizing this, Daniel, you need to find out if this is your dad's dream or if it's yours. That's what Victoria is saying. Kasper is saying that management consulting is not for all, so find out if it's something that you really want. And then he also say, even though you get like a high paycheck, there is nothing, what did you say? Nothing money can buy for you if you're sad. So it's about being again, about well-being, that you thrive in your job and that you actually like it. But then if you like it, there's super many opportunities within management consultancy, and it's also a good way to build a strong toolbox for your future work life. Thank you so much. Can you give him an applause? Okay, we are running out of time, but we have time for the last dilemma. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
So it goes like this. Dear Karriereklubben, I have social anxiety and I don't know whether I should be open about it in my new study group at my master's program. I am a first-year student. I have only recently been diagnosed with a moderate degree of social anxiety, and during my bachelor's program at CBS, I've had some bad experiences with study groups. Many times I felt uncomfortable in the intense togetherness and discussions of being in a study group and working together on big assignments. Many of my former student groups members have been quite dominant characters who probably believed that they were the best to lead the group or define the assignment. A few times I've tried to speak my mind when I had another idea or disagreed, and it led to unpleasant confrontations. If I tell my new study group about my anxiety, I'm unsure whether it will make them more considerate and patient when I try to contribute, or whether I will simply rule myself out of the discussions. What should I do? Social anxiety. From elite soldiers in business to social anxiety, well-being is a broad topic. Let's start with you, Victoria.
I think she should spend the first couple of weeks in the new study group to get to know the environment.
Yeah.
How are the people? It's a toxic. It seems like she has been in study groups before with very dominant types, not fostering a really safe environment. So we could hope for her that the environment in her new study group is better. But I would advise her to tell it to the study group.
Yeah,
and
she should speak up.
She should speak up, because if she speaks up, she has the opportunity to shape the narrative herself, and she can frame it as all of her strength, and this is just a little weakness, but she managed to do the challenge. And then I'm sure that if she opens up, then it will get an environment where it's okay to open up, and then I hope a lot of the other people, they have problems as well, so they will open up as well, and then you will create a safe environment where it will become the new normal to just speak about difficulties
Afraid of being accused of using buzzwords, psychological safety.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And hopefully she will create that psychological safety when she opens up.
Yeah. Yeah, good perspective. What do you think, Kasper?
Well, to be honest, I don't have that much experience with this.
But you were at CBS?
Yeah, I worked at CBS, but please remember, it's like 25 years ago. And we didn't talk about these things that way. I don't remember that anyways. But so here's what I'm thinking. What about changing the perspective to learning how to cope in an environment like that? Because when you get a job, when you finalize your studies at CBS and you would like to get paid for your work, then the employer would expect that you can cope with these situations. So what about reframing this away from kind of it's a problem and how do I fit into the group, and see it as a practice ground and an opportunity to learn how to do that? Because when you look at things as you're learning, then it's okay to make errors and stupid situations. It's okay because I'm trying to get to a better level and I'm learning here. So that's what I would suggest to change perspective.
Cool perspective, yeah. And you will also meet people that you dislike in your work life, later on, right? So it's maybe a good playground.
Well, I think just speaking from an entrepreneur's point of view, I mean, you meet investors, right? Some of them are very nice people and some of them are very direct, let's put it that way, because they earn money by lending you money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to an investment banker on that note. What do you think she should do in terms of this social anxiety?
So it's very difficult if you don't have social anxiety to advise about that, right? I don't have that, so I can probably only say what I did with my study group myself, from my perspective. And I actually found it very difficult to find a study group. Maybe I'm difficult as a person, I don't know, but it was a bit difficult. But then I eventually found some nerds that I really liked, and I'm a nerd myself. And it probably depends on which study you are on, whether you are allocated to a study group or not. We were not at my study, so I just asked them, hey guys, shouldn't we, And then they said yes, and then we, were together, happily married for 5 years at CBS. So for me it was a bit special for it, but I definitely can recognize that I didn't match with. Actually, I think I got allocated to a group, and that was horrible because we weren't a match at all. And then I found somebody myself that I liked. So I would actually, if I was her, try to find. No matter whether you have social anxiety or not, I guess you speak to some people at CBS. So try to, reach out to those and ask, can I maybe be in your study group? So
team up with people that
you like and you fit with in other perspectives, and then you can talk openly with. It must be. I also think it's very difficult to just open up to a new study group, right? And say, I have these problems and this is me, and it's a lot to consume, right? So I would actually, if it's possible on the study, find the people I like and then join that group.
Okay, so there's different pieces of advices here. I mean, Victoria, you think it could be good to speak up and see if that contributes to a psychological safety where everyone in the group maybe gets a bit more vulnerable and open about their challenges. Kasper, you say that it could be an opportunity to reframe it and see it as a playground of like how to deal with people that are different from yourself, because you will. I think you will for sure meet these types of people also later on in your work life. So maybe that's a good playground. And André, you say, if it's maybe you can find someone that you have a good collaboration with, or that you even like. So you team up with people that you feel comfortable around. So but of course we don't have social anxiety, or at least no one in the panel has, so it's of course also difficult to say exactly what you should do. But thank you so much for your dilemma. So that was it for this Karriereklubben live at CBS. If you have any dilemmas, questions, whatever you're facing in your career, you're always welcome to send them to us. As we say, help is something you get when you ask for it. And you can listen to the episodes, also this one, on Spotify and Podimo, and it's completely free. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and this was actually the last word for today. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Kasper. Thank you, André. And thank you, Caroline. And I hope that this was inspiring for you and have such a nice time here at CBS. And give all here a hand.
Du lyttede til Karriereklubben, en podcast produceret af André Thormann, Rossmeisl og Nima Tisdal. Du kan altid følge Karriereklubben inde på dine respektive sociale medier. Vi glæder os til at høre fra dig. Tak fordi du lyttede med.